Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to a special AI update. So it does revolve around the skipper, Virgil van Dijk, the man who scored the fourth goal last night and gave his signature jump and fist pump to the crowd. Now, Virgil van Dijk spoke to the press very briefly in the mix zone afterwards and said, no, there's no real news. Anyone who says anything different about contracts is lying. And naturally, we didn't really want to hear that because there've been reports online, hadn't there, about Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah especially being close to signing a new deal. So it would seem a negative update, but that is not what we've got for you, ladies and gents, because really, really importantly, Paul Joyce dropped a little cat amongst the pigeons. So you can see there on AI that we mentioned it. Virgil van Dijk's representatives were apparently sat next to Richard Hughes at Anfield last night. Obviously, we hope that's true. We fully believe that's true because it's Paul Joyce, a man of an immaculate reputation and well-sourced, well-informed at the same time. Naturally, it's also something that I'll be asking David Lynch about shortly because I know he sits quite close to that area. So we'll see if he clocked any reps or anything like that. So Virgil van Dijk is represented by the Roof Agency. They do have good contacts with Liverpool. Harvey Elliott is also represented by them as well. So fingers crossed that bears out well. And I mean, I don't need to tell you about just how well Virgil van Dijk has done this season. I mean, just the best in every single metric. I've brought up Gabriel from Arsenal there because that's the one that random Arsenal fans will tell you is close to Virgil van Dijk. But if you just look at the metrics there, I mean, right, so Gabriel's ahead in non-penalty goals, but in terms of the aerial side, the touches, the progressive passes, everything you would want from Virgil van Dijk, Gabriel is miles behind on. There's no two ways about it. If you look at his stats from this season as well, I mean, in terms of passing, how many times do we see that ball go out wide to Mo on the right? How many times does he push it through the lines? I mean, 92.4% pass completion. Progressive passes, pretty much around 5 a game, isn't it? It's just absolutely sensational from the skipper. And if we're honest about Virgil this season, Salah, those are the two player of the year contenders. There's no two ways about it. It's them. And the gap to anyone you might mention in third, which could even be a few Liverpool players, is absolutely ginormous. This is a generational centre-back. We need to do everything to keep him. We could only hope that the fact Richard Hughes and his reps are reportedly sat next to each other in the game. They've had a nice chat before. They've got a nice chat together afterwards if needed. Otherwise, just bang their heads together and get this done. It is so important for Liverpool. And I won't play it yet, but just in case you want to check further information, Jamie Carragher spoke about Virgil van Dijk after this game and actually said and referenced, I've played in an era with the likes of, who he played with, John Terry, etc. All those people that are named of the greats. He is head and shoulders above all of these. I'm not going to play it for you, but if you want to listen, that is on Sky Sports, Twitter, YouTube feed that way. So, yeah, we await further updates. We'll see if there's anything in this story that develops quickly. Fingers crossed it does. We just can't afford to lose the skipper, can we? He is, for me, out of the three, and they're all important, the most important one to get pen to paper on. Richard Hughes, get it done. But there we go. That was a quick update for you, brought to you by Anfield Index.